And we're interested in this factor right here because this is quadratic. Highest degree is 2. So x will equal our negative b, or the opposite of b. B is negative 4 up here. So the opposite of that will be 4. Plus or minus b squared. So it's a negative 4 squared, right, which is 16. Minus 4 times a, which is the 3, times c, which is the 2, all over 2 times a, and our a is 3. Okay? So let me go ahead and work off to the side because I'm running out of room. So we have 4 plus or minus, just simplifying at this point. Okay? So we have 16 minus 4 times 3 times 2, which is minus 24. So just because I'm running out of room, I'm just going to show you up here. You have the square root of 16 minus 24. That's what it is under the root sign here. So 16 minus 24, you're going to get a negative 8. All over 2 times 3, so the denominator is going to be 6. Okay, so again, just because I'm running out of room here, I'm going to show you this square root of negative 8 is the same thing as a negative 1 times 8. Would you agree with that? That negative 8 is the same as negative 1 times 8, right? All I'm doing is breaking it up, which is the same thing as negative 1 times the square root of 8. So square root of negative 1 times the square root of 8. All right, well, we know that the square root of negative 1 comes out to be I. And the square root of 8 comes out to be, and I'm going to go ahead and bring this down here. Okay, so rewrite 4 plus or minus, that's an equal sign right there. Let's see, and what I've discovered here, I have square root of negative 1 is I. So I'm going to come down here and pull that I out, right? And I'm left with square root of 8. Well, square root of 8 is going to be 2 times 2 times 2. Right, so I can pull out a pair there, and a 2 is left underneath in the root sign. Okay? Remember, this is all over 6. 6 is in the denominator. Okay? So I have 4 plus or minus. I've got my I here. And then I can pull out this pair. Okay? So I have a 2 that I'm going to pull out. And generally, you put it in front of the I. And then left underneath is one of the 2's. So all I did was take this pair right here. I pulled out one of the 2's, put it in front of the I, and then the remaining 2 stays under the root sign. Okay? And then that's all over the 6. And at this point, I can simplify this even more because the 4, 2, and 6 are all divisible by 2. So, but we can't touch this 2 because it's protected underneath the square root sign. So this one's protected, can't touch that. All right, so we can simplify this even more. And I know I'm kind of going off to the side. I'm trying to hold the phone up and move along the paper here. But I have 2 plus or minus I square root 2 all over 3, because the 2 goes into 4 2 times, 2 goes into 2 once, so it's a 1I, or just I, and then 2 goes into 6 3 times, and then this 2 is protected underneath the radical sign. All right, so it turns out that going back to our original polynomial of degree 3, we should have 3 roots, right? Which we do. So I'm going to go ahead and in this space right here. I'll go ahead and just make a box. And it was to find all roots, which there should be 3. We have these 2 right here. So we have 2 plus, what is it? I square root 2 over 3. That's one of the roots. The next root is 2 minus I square root 3 over 2. All I did was just break up the plus or minus. You don't have to do that. It depends on what your teacher wants. And the very last root was from our synthetic division, right, which was the 2. And so the last one is actually a 2. And those are your 3 roots. So you've got a complex root, they're conjugates of each other, and you've got your final root, which happens to be a rational number. Okay, so that's it. That's how you do that section. I think it's like 4, 5, and 6 in that top section, and then you have a bottom section in your homework as well. I can't remember the numbers that follow the same direction. So solve each equation by finding all roots. That's all you do. So you just take that, the last, use your P over Q, just test some of the possible roots, see what works to give you a remainder of 0, and then work your way down. And that's it. All right. If you have any questions, then we can get together again this week, or you can text me or whatever you need to do. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this on YouTube, and then you can watch it on there. All right, have a good day at school tomorrow. All right, bye.